In the beginning, there was chaos. Out of chaos rose worlds populated with multitudes of beings. Wars were fought, kings and emperors rose and fell, and civilizations were built and crumbled as millennia passed. Gods, dark and strange, were worshipped in pagan temples. Still there was chaos. The gods fought amongst themselves, bringing even greater ruin to those who had served them. At last there was one, a being of great power and enlightenment, who rose above his immortal peers and cast them out of the heavens into oblivion. From chaos came order, and with order came peace, and the creatures of the worlds flourished. The age of chaos had ended. Now the wheel has turned again. The supreme god has suddenly disappeared. Prayers are left unanswered, and the smoke of offerings rises in vain to the heavens. No one knows why he disappeared, but it is certain that the people of the worlds are once again left without direction, without guiding principle, without order. Now is the time for the beings of great power and ambition to try their strength. The throne of the heavens stands empty, and only the strongest can rise to supremacy over all. Only the most powerful can ascend to take the place of he who came before. This is a time of great strife and suffering. This is a time of magic unequalled. This is the Ascension Wars. Here is Feminie, and we have been blessed by the gods of RNG because we are actually starting on the north end of this map. Okay, so this is not bad. Potentially we have less, we can't be attacked from the north essentially. This is really, really helpful for us. We're not in a corner. That would be even, well, maybe better. It depends, because we also want decent provinces around our capital. The way that these forts work is, the way that province income works is that every province has a population with and it kind of grows or shrinks depending on the terrain bonus. There's also to do with the amount of population you've got, the population density, the base population growth, and any kind of scales effects. So if you've got a death scale, then it will your population will start dying or growing. So we've also got resources and income. The income comes from your population for the most part. The resources are partly tied to your tile, and if you've got a citadel, you will be getting more. Sorry, not the citadel, but there are different levels of fortification. They go up from standard fortifications right up the way to citadels in this late age. Some nations can even build better ones if they are particularly skilled at architecture. Now, you get a certain amount of resources and recruitment points from these tiles, and if you build a fortification on it, you will start getting multipliers. So until you put a fort on the tile, you'll only be getting, I think, 50% of resources and recruitment points, that kind of stuff. And it will also a fort will also pull in resources and recruitment points and income from, actually I'm not sure about the recruitment points, but definitely resources and income it will pull in from the surrounding tiles that you own. So it's really important early in the game, in order to be able to build more stuff or to recruit more units, you want to be capturing tiles around your forts and then taking more territory and then building more forts. This here is the Throne of Ascension. These are the victory condition of the game, so we want to capture these as well. Depending on how strong the guard is around it, we might be able to do it early. We might have to wait till later. Okay, we start with a small force. We've got Emila. Emila is the Feminie commander. Since the time of Magnificent Ind, women hold power in Feminie. Rulers and sages and military commanders are all female. Most Feminie commanders are regular soldiers promoted after years of service. So Amelia here is, she's a bit older. She's 27. And so she's been fighting through the ranks, and she's actually made it to commander. Amelia here is commanding 20 Feminie soldiers. You see these are around at age 21. I think, yeah, some of them are a little bit older, some of them are 26. This is nicely randomized. We've also got some Feminie archers, 15 of. Now, Amelia only has leadership 75. That means that she can't, I think you need 80 is the minimum to start putting them into formation. Let me show you what I mean here. This is a representation of our side of the battle map that we can set up. And this will be this is kind of the center of the map. And the enemy would be, if you imagine it, kind of going out here to the right, they're going to be on that side. We're going to put we can put our troops into two formations when we've only got a low leadership. Either box formation, which is tighter, or skirmish formation. which means that the soldiers are more spread out, but they get a morale penalty, look, because they feel better. They get this squad morale bonus -1 when they are in when they're in that formation, because they're not tightly packed in and they don't feel so secure. This can be good for archers, putting them in skirmish formation, because they will take less damage. Anybody in skirmish formation will take less damage from archery. You also cover a wider range. The problem with it is that when you're met in melee combat, if you've got enemies with a tighter formation, they're going to do more damage to you. So you kind of want to avoid that with melee troops, unless they are very, very brave. These are quite brave troops, by the way. Or, well, they're on the braver side, but they're not like, particularly courageous. But yeah, you generally want to keep them in a tighter formation. So Amelia here is not the best leader. She's going to be better used for ferrying troops around. We've got a scout here, Kia. Kia here, I'm going to call her Kia. I'm going to put her on retreat. What that means is if she does get seen and the enemies attack her, she will run away and she will try to get into friendly territory. And if there's a space for her to retreat to, she'll survive. Okay. This game is really, really complex. This isn't really intended to be a tutorial, but that's kind of how I play. And I think it's good for you guys to see kind of how I think about the game, at least. By the way, I should explain this first. If you are a new player, the first thing you want to do whenever you go to a new screen is hold Shift and press the question mark key. Pretty much every command in this game has a hotkey. This is one of the reasons why I believe that Dominions has an excellent user interface. I know not everybody agrees with me, and it doesn't look new like modern 4X games. I don't care about how it looks. It's how it plays, and this has got an excellent UI. And you don't need to memorize all these, okay? But there are a few that are important to memorize. There's also a couple of preferences you probably want to turn on. The first one is to make sure you turn on 1 on end turn. If you hit the E key accidentally, it will end the turn unless you've got this on, and it will end the turn unless you've got commanders who've not been given orders, okay? You might also want to turn on give orders to new commanders automatically. What this does is basically your mages, when they're recruited, it'll automatically make them research. I don't do this because I like to see what all my mages are doing when they're recruited, but this can be helpful. The game is it's right click select for a province, and then left click select for units, and right click to move, left click to move. It's an older style of user interface. This was popular in the late 90s, early 2000s, before the kind of RTS stuff started taking over, and then you got left click select, right click move was sort of became standard. If you don't like this, you can change it. So you can change it to the right click move here. I don't, because I'm used to Dominions as it is. But if you do find the control method a bit confusing, you can change that there. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about game options. I am going to talk about the new user interface as we go through the game. I found, by the way, with these games, that the slower you play them, the better. I also have to balance out the fact that people don't like me to play too slowly because it gets boring. So I'm open to. Please comment in the comments section if you think the games are played a little bit too slow or too fast. I'm just going to try to stick to what I think is a fun pace for me to play, and also for you guys to kind of figure out. But top tip: if you're the sort of person who kind of gets bored of these games quite quick, you feel like you get halfway through your campaign and then you give up, play slower, okay? Take in all the details and look at stuff, and kind of give your head time to immerse in what's going on, and you'll start gaining a bigger connection with the game. I did a video on this if you want to check it out. Okay, I'm going to put these guys on hold and attack. I'm using hotkeys here, but what you can do is you can also click to see all the different types of orders that your squads can get. I'm going to put these guys on fire, or these ladies on fire. So these are going to move forward immediately and start shooting, while these the Feminie soldiers with spears, they're going to hold an attack. So they're going to hold for 2 turns, 2 combat rounds, which will give us time to cast spells on them, basically, or for the enemy to come to us a little bit, and then they'll move forward to attack. All right, we're going to recruit some troops. We've got 3 commander points, and these commanders all cost different amounts of points to recruit. So they're either 1, 2, or 4. If they're very slow to recruit, then they've got 4 points, which means that you'll start them 1 turn, and they will complete the next turn. What we want to do this turn, I think, is because I want to get a Feminie sorceress early. These are quite expensive. Their upkeep is going to be 252. So what's divide that by 12, basically. So what's that? 100? I don't know. It's going to be like 20 something per turn. So what we can do to mitigate that cost, because at the moment we do not have much money incoming. I'll show you the new UI, by the way, for returning players. Now you'll see the income, and all the costs of your various units is actually broken down if you just click on the income tab here. You do the same with treasury too, and this will tell you all the stuff that you're spending over the turn. This is really, really good stuff, by the way. It helps the management of the game even like so much. You do the same with gems. You can actually pull gems from and to commanders. I think it's from and to. Okay, this key doesn't have any hotkeys by the look of it. This particular screen. However, you can pull them from commanders to the treasury by clicking on these buttons here if they're in a province that's got a laboratory. All right. So, my plan is to build as many veiled ones as we can. They cost holy points, so I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to leave us 1 point. Then I'm going to grab ourselves one of these cloistered ladies so we can get someone to bless them in combat. So that will activate their bless. They don't need a bless right now because we don't have any. We don't have a bless power. So if we look at the bless effect of Sophia, the Mistress of Destiny, we actually get +1 morale. And when she's become incarnate, which will be around turn 12, somewhere around that, after about a year, then they will become ethereal as well. So we don't really need to bless them, but the morale boost is nice and it's worth it. So what we're going to do is we're going to recruit 5 of those ladies. We're going to grab the cloistered lady, and then we're going to get a Feminie sorceress, and we're immediately going to prophesize her to become the prophet of our religion on the world. And she is then going to be able to spread our Dominion candles very, very quickly. Once our god is incarnate, then the god will also help to spread our Dominion candles. The Dominion spreads. There's a percentage chance every turn that your Dominion will spread from your temples. We've got quite a strong Dominion strength, it's 6, so the chance of successful Dominion spread every turn will be 80%. Okay, so it'll make a dice roll. If you get more than 80% or 80% or more, then we will get a Dominion candle, and it will either be on this province or one of the adjacent ones. And so the stronger your Dominion and the more people you've got preaching, you will get more checks, what are called temple checks. And for each character preaching, you will get the temple check made, basically. So you can spread your Dominion out quite quickly if you've got a lot of priests. Dominion's important because you will fight better in your own Dominion. You'll have higher morale. Also, you'll start to get some, basically what this means is you've got worshippers in this area. Even though we don't own it, you can see that it's owned by independents, and that's what the grey flag is. But yeah, so we've actually got some worshippers in here who are feeding some information back, and we've got an idea about the population, the income, and the resources. So we don't know about the supplies, but we've got some basic information. We haven't seen what's guarding it yet. We don't want to attack yet this turn. I'm going to put this Amelia on patrol, and we are going to send out a scout. And I think what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to move her. I think I'm going to so the scout will give us more accurate information on what's in there. I think I'm going to send her out this way, since we've got the a rough idea of the Dominion from the Dominion here. Actually, I might send her out that way so we get a better indication. The expansion phase is quite important, particularly in multiplayer. It's really, really important, but in single player less so. However, you do need to keep up with trying to take territory as quickly as possible. Okay, we've got a few resource points left. I think I'm going to take what am I going to grab here? I'm going to grab a few more archers, so because these are cheap, they don't cost many resources, and it's resources that we're low on. We've got very high recruitment points here because of our citadel, but for the time being, yeah, we're just going to have to rely on cheaper troops. The last thing we want to do before we go to the next turn, we've got to pick what we're going to research. So it looks like we got 100 research points that were randomly distributed in 50-point blocks. So we've got thaumaturgy and alteration. Both of these are going to be pretty good for us because thaumaturgy is quite good for astral and for glamour. We're going to get some nice buffs here. Also, we get the communion, master, and slave spells early on, so we've already got those. But alteration is also going to be good. So we've got spells like blur, which is going to reduce the attack skill of anybody attacking the blurred character. That's blurred body. This is just affecting the caster. But now we get blur as well, which is an area of effect 1. So the caster can cast this on other troops. And again, they become blurred, more difficult to strike in melee. We've also got mirror image. This is a caster spell. We've got loads of spells, by the way, that we can cast down here once we start getting water and nature magic out. Like personal bark skin is quite a good one for casters with nature. Just makes them tougher to kill, but at the expense of making them a little bit more vulnerable to fire. Okay, I think what we don't need to pick any research this turn because we don't have anybody researching yet. So we're going to hit Eve and end the turn. Okay, so someone's fighting already. So we got Felegra and Lemuria. Oh wow, okay. Excuse me. Felegra. So Laertes, the Felegran commander, shall hereby be known as the Prophet of Theos, the Merchant of Souls, God of Unnatural Lust, Prince of Blood and Perfume, Tamer of Demons, the Leaf Lord. Right, okay. So we can get an idea of what kind of god that we're up against with Felegra. Felegra are a nation of... they are a slave nation, I guess. They're kind of based on kind of Greece, but they have, in the early ages, they've got like giant hoplites, you know, so they've got like hoplite troops, you know, like from the, you know, Athens and the Greek city-states from the ancient period. But they've also got these giants, very powerful giants, and through as that nation, they started off being called Mekone, and they start to devolve. So in the Middle Ages, the giants have started to devolve into these kind of horrible monsters, and by the time we've got to the late age Felegra, the tyrants have mostly disappeared, I think. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff happening with them. So they've got some smaller giants, I think. Or is it they've got a Cyclops? I can't remember quite how these ones work now. But anyway, they are a human nation mostly, at least for most of the game. Looks like these guys have got death magic and perhaps blood magic. And maybe that one's glamour. I'm not sure what that one is. And blood, definitely, because Tamer of Demons. And some nature. And Lemuria. Lemuria is a nation of scary, scary ghosts. So, Hope Void the Lemur Thaumaturge shall hereby be known as the Prophet of Talor, Opener of the Ways, God of the Wild Cows. Okay. Right, so let's have a look what we've got this turn. We're going to check out the troops that we've just recruited. They appear in our garrison. I'm going to mix the veiled ones, our sacred troops, in amongst our main troops here, and we're going to add a few more of these archers too. I'm going to put Nasharte here on Preach, because we want to start preaching in the temple to get our Dominion out a little bit more. Notice that we've actually got a few temple checks went out, and it looks like we've got a couple of candles now in Witch Haven here too. Okay, this is good stuff. It's saying about 70 units here, mainly militias, archers, and light infantry. Okay, we got lucky. We've got light infantry, militia, and heavy infantries here. So I think this is going to be a slightly easier province for us to take. We do need a decent amount of troops, though, on the front line to be able to... because we are going to take casualties from the archers as we come in. I'm going to send out our scout that way. I don't think we are ready to attack yet. I want to get one more round of our holy units. And I think... yeah, I'm going to get one more of these. I'm going to get a... okay. I really want a lady commander, so we might not be able to afford... yeah, the lady commander is going to be enable us to put our troops into formation. This is really, really important, I think. I think it's... well, otherwise what will happen is the enemy might have a lot more troops than us, and if we look at the battlefield, they're going to go round us, and they'll envelop this. You know, they'll start attacking us from this side, and they might well get round to our commanders. So normally, really, on turn 2, you want to be setting out and expanding and trying to attack stuff. But I don't think this is enough for us to win without taking very, very bad losses. So I'm going to wait another few turns, I think, or at least one more turn. I want to get this commander here so we can put them in the formation. I also want to get as many of these as we can. And we're out of resources already, unfortunately. But this is a bit of a problem. We're not going to be able to get many troops. In that case, let's get... yeah, we can get another 2 of the Cloistered Ladies so we can start getting our research points. Now, we've only got 1 Dominion candle here, so... that might actually be a bit of a waste. We might be better off getting maybe the Feminie Savant. They're 96 gold, but they've got 15 research points, so that might be a good thing for us to get. They're kind of cheap as well. And then we'll start pre-building another veiled one. Unfortunately, we're 6 research points short. Kirsty here is going to become the prophet, so we're going to prophetize her. That's going to make her a holy 3 priest. And then she's going to start preaching and getting our Dominion candles out. Remember, Feminie is a nation that is a glamour-based nation. So we are going to be very much trying to keep ourselves hidden from the other pretenders. We don't want them to discover us. And our nation and our Dominion actually hides our ownership of, you know, over the world around us. So it doesn't matter so much if we don't rush out and take stuff. The other thing is, of course, is we are going to be smaller than everyone else. This looks very defendable, by the way. Looks like we've got a river here, so we can probably put some forts up and defend these river crossings. So look, we've got a river going right around here. This is a really, really, really nice thematic, defensible setting that we've got here. I really love this. This is great. Okay, we've got the recruitment done for the turn. Now we don't have any research coming in yet, so we don't need to worry about our research. Let's just end the turn. Okay, proclamation from Feminie. Curse the Feminie sorceress shall hereby be known as the prophet of Sophia, the evening star, the fate of the world, mistress of destiny. That's us. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is saying 30 now. It was 70 before. I think this is probably around. So basically, you tend to get about half or twice of what you've seen on this scout report, okay? So we saw 70 before. Now it's saying 30. I reckon it's somewhere between those two. So, I mean, it could be as low as 10, but I don't think that's going to be the case. But this means we'll relieve Amelia of command. You can hit the A key, by the way, to just select everything in a unit. And we'll just click here, and we'll transfer those just over directly as they are. We don't then have to worry about rescripting them. We will here, however, because we want to put these guys, or these ladies, we're going to put our other two veiled ones into this group. So we're going to put these here like this. I think we're going to put them far back. I'm going to put the... We've now got formations, right? So we've got line formation, sparse line formation, and double line formation. We've also still got the box and the skirmish. I think sparse line formation is probably going to be good for the archers. That means that if they do end up taking some troops incoming, which they are likely to, they will probably only some of them will engage while the others will shoot at them with the arrows, and that's what we want. The combat mechanics, by the way, in Dominions are pretty complex, and it's while you're learning, it's very much a game of trial and error, trying to figure out how it all works. Unless you understand them, you know, the combat mechanics very, very thoroughly. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to have these ladies kind of about here. They're going to move forwards. I think we are going to probably lose some of these, I'm afraid. We're going to set Arito here to hold a couple of turns, and then she's going to move to stay behind the troops. I don't want her to be attacked. And yeah, we're going to mix in these veiled one troops. Phoebe here is going to research, so we're actually going to get some research done. Kersey here is going to preach the teachings of God. And we can also... I'm now going to start researching with Nashtharte here too. So you'll see that we've actually got 21 research points per turn. And so we need to pick some research. I think Blur is going to be a good one, so we can actually start blurring some of our troops with our... what I want to be able to do is use Glamour, and our mages are going to go in with our troops, and they're actually going to, when we got bigger battles to do. I think I feel confident taking this province. We are probably going to lose some troops, I'm afraid, but we'll see. I'm going to put these a little bit far forward. These do have shields, so they will be able to block with the parry some of the arrows that are coming in, but these will not be able to. But because they're in skirmish formation, they're going to get a little bit less morale, but they will block some of the arrows, or they will dodge some of the arrows. Or more accurately, the arrows will fall in places where they're not going to be able to get attacked. Okay, we also need to recruit some more troops this turn. We don't have a lot of resources still. I want as many of these as we can get. And I think... Yeah, we've still only got one candle in our home province, so we can't get any more... Let's get one more cloistered lady. I might actually go for... No, let's get 2 cloistered ladies. That uses our holy points, and that leaves us 1 more point. Maybe I actually get a mage. We can get the Savant again. Oh, those are really expensive, the Feminie Sorceress. I think I'm going to get the Savant, because she's going to be good for research. And also we'll be able to use her in combat too. Now, we've got 53 resource points left. I think we're going to start getting some of these... Feminie swordswomen. They're going to survive a little bit more. Alternatively, we could either get more archers, and we're likely going to need some to replace the losses that we're likely to take, or we can get a whole bunch of these cheap Feminie militia. The only problem with the militia is that they die really, really easily. However, it can be helpful to have them as a quick padding when you've got a very small army like this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go... These aren't much less, are they? I actually go for these knights. Yeah, we can get 2 of those, look. The Lady at Arms, you've got better defense skill. I think I'll go for these, actually. We've got the gold to afford them. When we can afford it as well, we're going to get some of these knights here. Okay, that's 3 commanders points. We're good to go. I think that is it. We'll carry on expanding down, or exploring down this way. Notice now that we've got a fog of war, by the way, in Dominions. This turns it into a proper 4X game pretty much now, because you don't get to see your random map that you've just generated until you actually explore out. That's really, really a nice addition. I think that you'll actually see that Dominions 6 is a much better single player game than Dominions 5 was. And I liked Dominions 5 in single player. I thought it was great, but I feel like it's got a lot more potential now for being an enjoyable single player game. Oh, okay, we do need to check to pick some research. Now, if we pick Evocation, we do get Warrior Illusion. Warrior Illusion allows our Glamour Mages to send out an illusory warrior. That might be useful, because that will tie up enemy troops. What else do we get from this? We want Evocation as well for fire magic. This is not the best. We're not the best nation for this, maybe. I don't think we need enchantment yet. That will be nice for Fire Shield, though. And we've got some really, really good glamour spells in here, too. Okay. Yeah, I think I am actually going to go with... I'm going to go with Alteration 2 here. Okay, and we'll end the turn. Okay, there's a battle in Black Forest. Let's watch our first battle. So you'll see that the battle screen is actually quite a lot larger than Dominions was. Let's see what we're up against. Okay, we've got a bunch of militia. These guys have got reasonable defense, but their attack skill's kind of low. We've got some archers from Black Forest, and we've got some light infantry. These are a bit more defended. We've got protection 9, while the militia are only protection 5. We've also got a priest, level 1 priest. He's got a couple of guards, and we've got 3 commanders. So yeah, I think we should be able to get this. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem, unless I've made a drastic error with my scripting. Let's just speed the replay up a little bit until the guys get into range. Now, their archers are firing at our troops. That's good, and our archers are killing their archers, so I'm pleased with that. You might find they switch target now to the closer troops. And we've got, as you can see, look, these hidden, the veiled ones, their glamour is making it so that you can see this blur effect that they've got, and they're very hard to hit in combat. So if we go to defense, oh no, I think it just gives them a bunch of mirror images basically. So the enemy, like, they don't automatically hit. Okay, let's just slow it down a little bit and we see what's going on. So our troops have actually met them on the flank here, and our archers now, look, they're starting to okay, so some of these militia have got through. Now our archers won't trade very well with these militia, so hopefully our troops are coming back to save them. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Now, the militia aren't great. Oh, they've run. Okay, so look. You'll see that the morale is now in red. What's happened is they've lost enough of their squad that they realise they can't win the battle, and they've run. They've failed a morale check and they're running. The rest of our troops are fighting the light infantry. Hopefully the archers will now start firing at the... oh no, they're firing directly in. Oh, some of them are firing. That's interesting. Okay, some of them are firing at the archers still. Okay, you can hear some screaming as some of our troops are dying. Okay, so the only troops not routing now are their archer squad. They're probably going to try and take a few of our troops, but I reckon that our veiled ones are going to tear them to bits. Oh no, they're chasing the commanders off the field, look. Okay, they've run. So it's saying the independent armies have routed. Now, you can get more detailed information on what's going on. You can see all the damage rolls and everything. You can get really into the weeds of this game if you really want to. I tend to only do that if I find a point of interest, or if I'm trying to figure out where something went right or wrong. Let's have a look at the battle report. Okay, the province previously owned by independents has been conquered by our forces. That was great. We did lose 2 Feminie soldiers, but that's not the end of the world. We took a province and we only lost 2 troops, and I'm really pleased with that. I'm doing a lot better than I was doing in my test games. So you automatically, now provinces can be defended by automatic troops that are automatically generated. They're called province defense. They cannot be moved around. They just stay in the province. You automatically get one of these now in Dominions 6. And I'm gonna put 6 in there. That's the kind of standard that I tend to put in. at the start of the game. That will stop. There are certain events that can happen where your province gets attacked. I think if we've got 6 province defense, that's usually enough to stop some of the more easy to deal with issues. You know, some of the smaller attacks that can come. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the episode here because we've hit half an hour. So thanks for watching. It is a little bit slow at the moment, but I'm going to probably release a couple of these videos a day. I just want to make them a little bit more digestible for people. I will speed up the turns once once I've gone through the user interface, talked about the game mechanics a little bit. Like I said, it's not intended to be a tutorial, but I just I like playing like this. I like tutorializing. So I hope it's interesting for you anyway, guys. This should serve as an interesting, look at Dominions, if you're a new player, or you're someone who's looking at it wondering if it's for you, I think it can be really helpful to see somebody play it in detail and quite carefully. The action will come thick and fast, don't you worry. Okay, guys, I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, as always. The game is coming to Steam this Wednesday the 17th of January, Wednesday, January the 17th. So go and check the game out. You will not be disappointed with this. This is one of the best games ever made. Thanks, guys. Take care.